What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Sam Smith's fourth album, Gloria. Not an album I was excited about because I think, if we're being honest, Sam Smith as an album artist has been very disappointing to this point. Obviously, Sam Smith exploded, gosh, what was that, 10 years ago now, with Latch, the Disclosure song of which they is featured on. And Sam, that song Latch was on my top 10 songs of the decade. Absolutely love that track. And Sam Smith has amazing vocal strength. He is one of the strongest, male vocalists of this time. And despite all that, Sam has been a very disappointing artist in terms of the total output. Obviously Sam has put out strong ballads and strong singles over the course of those album cycles, but the albums themselves have been decidedly, I would say, lackluster in their lack of ambition. The Sam Smith vocal talent is so evident, yet the albums never really felt like they matched that. And I think a big part of that was, despite Sam's ability to, be a torch singer, give you an inspired ballad, lyrically, not the most exciting artist, but either way, I think just production wise, those Sam Smith vocals almost would fall on deaf ears in the sense that it was sleepy production more often than not. And my huge takeaway with Sam's new album, Gloria, is that it is clearly the best Sam Smith album that has come out to this point. And the reason that is because the production is so much more interesting, so much more lively than anything we got in the past albums. It's almost like Sam realized that, much like when he, much like when Sam made a song with Disclosure, Sam sounds really good on dance pop and drum and bass and all that. It really livens up the Sam Smith vocals, and you just get that more often than not on Gloria, which is great. I think right off the bat, the album starts off so good with "Love Me More," just a really engaging drum line right off the bat. You get some of that interspersals of vocal dubbing. Sam vocals on Sam vocals just sounds really good because, again, they are always strong vocals. But when you make the song just a little bit more interesting, a little bit more lively, I think it goes a huge way. No God, I thought was quite strong as well. Lose You, then of course, is a very familiar Sam Smith song in the sense that that is one of those, heartbreak ballad songs. But again, it just feels a little bit more lively this time, and that production, the drum and the bass on that, I think just really goes a long way in elevating this kind of song from Sam Smith. Jesse Reyes is a surprising feature on this. You have Jesse Reyes on this album three times. Thought Perfect was probably the best of those. The first time she shows up, and then of course we get Unholy, which was the very unexpected number one hit from Sam and Kim Petras at the end of last year. Ended up being one of the biggest songs of 2022. And Unholy is ultimately an album that feels, I would say, out of place on Glory, in the sense that I think that the tempo and the lyrical subject matter is just a bit out of scope of what Gloria is largely about. Perhaps not surprising given how we expect Sam Smith albums to go. But I think Unholy is still like a really fun and admirable song, and will welcome, I think, like, return to Sam just kind of giving you something fun. And it's not quite like what Latch was in terms of appeal for Sam, but that production, and I think more importantly, like that, like, more directly explicit lyricism, or at least suggestive lyricism from Sam, I think to me goes a long way. And again, kind of livening up what Sam Smith is as a performer. And, obviously Unholy got a lot of Grammy nominations. And I think justly, I think it's a pretty fun hit and has its own merits apart from the TikTok success. So doesn't really fit on Gloria per se, but obviously it's to still be here. Yeah, I think the album from here kind of starts to fade. But to this point, I thought it was like just really hitting. And that's just not something I've ever said about past Sam Smith albums. I think "How to Cry" is like the first like real slow down moment, but still not too bad. Um, Six Shots again, you have that vocal dubbing that's really enjoyable. Gimme, I thought the coffee performance really stood out there. And then I'm Not Here to Make Friends, Jesse Reyes once again, but also Calvin Harris. Again, Sam Smith sounds pretty good on Dance Pop, shocker. Um, the Ed Sheeran uh, feature, the Ed Sheeran collab to end it. Not really my favorite. It's kind of sleepy. The sentiments kind of uh, well trodden ground, like same love kind of stuff. It's not anything too, I think, surprising. But the earlier stuff on Gloria, I just was surprised by how much time I had for it. And I think it's really just the production and the general tempo, the general energy that the rest of the song lends itself to Sam's vocals because we know how strong the Sam Smith vocal performance will be just naturally. And to have songs that are just constructed in a more engaging way, when you match that with high end vocals, unsurprisingly, it's pretty successful. So, I'm not. I don't think Sam has turned a new leaf in terms of like being a truly engaging lyricist, but I don't necessarily think Sam has to do that either because I think this really feels like a step back in the right direction, or at least a step back in a more interesting direction. So, let me know, what did you think of the new Sam album? Were you happy with this new direction? Did you want more stuff exactly like Unholy? Let me know. And for more pop music, more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.